sitting on my next day at church, trying to conversate about no motherfucking way. I'm feeling like on my Mr. Rogers, Reading Rainbow type shit today. Right? My Mr. Rogers, Reading Rainbow type shit. About that. A lot of people ain't never heard that song by Nate, that next day at church song. That was during the time where people say, hey, why do 10? You can tell on your finger, black people already been through Rico eggs and investigation and phone tapping and all that old shit right here. It ain't new to us. I was thinking about 20 years ago, right? When we really look at the whole DEI scandal just in front. First off, white, Asian, Spanish people right here ain't really known for smoking weed. Even to this day, majority of their people here don't smoke weed at all. They don't watch OnlyFans, they don't know who's that's not their culture. They don't make albums, back to back, always in the studio. It's not what they do. A lot of them sit around think they have the right to live off black labor. That's what they think they gonna live off black people labor. Everything black people figure out, they showing up here like, yeah, we in this together.
You doing that?
We in this shit together.
You doing that?
You on your own.
You doing that? You doing that?
You are on your own on this.
You doing it?
Like I said, why do 10 if you can tell on the front? That's what a lot of these black people that got caught in bed with white people. That's what they used to say. So what they would do is, because a lot of young generations, I don't really understand, you hear me, why people like Yo Gotti and Young Jesus write a very black oriented or the Asian lady to go watch it like Young Jesus, right? 20 years ago in the Stop Snitching campaign, Young Jesus and them started a Stop Snitching campaign. And basically, in the song, he told Young, Big Meech character, right? At night I can't sleep, living in hell, the people that gave us through us. Like I said, if you ever want to look for a person that's gonna cause you lose something in life, look at your friends, look at your family, people that you allow to be around you. Those are the people that have the biggest potential to be rich. Keep in mind, right? The FBI got a boss, just like the military got a boss, just like the president got it's a system of checks and balances. It's a system of checks and balances.
Talented Mr.
Like I said, this y'all first Rico at the young student DEI problem. I can see looks on y'all faces right here. The FBI that scrambled your brain. Remember, the prohibition had alcohol and tobacco. And convenience stores, a lot of it too. The education school system. Bobby Johnson, he seen it too. Like Robert Johnson seen the BET in the time of Donald Trump. Right? Why would you do business with white people? Asian, Hispanic people, black. As you really were educated in the history of America. Nobody in their right mind, you hear me? I'm just be honest with you. Nobody in their fucking right mind, you hear me, would do business with a white, Asian, Hispanic, or any type of background outside of the history of America. It's the worst. It's like marrying a white woman. You hear me? It's the worst decision you ever do in your life. They had 0% success rate. Not happening. And you make an album, that means $1. Yeah. So you have products, you have services that you sell. Then you make a movie, write a book. Yeah, that's a product and service that sells. Keep in mind, right? A lot of this DEI fraud money is some more money. They just print money at this point, you hear me? All fake machines they done made in these schools. You hear me? Like on the move for more money. That's basically what they're doing at this point. They ain't got no time. They ain't working for none of this shit they got, you hear me? They just commit fraud, you hear me? That's what they doing. I need to blame my brother.
But I won't stop abusing it.
There won't be no more trouble, you hear me? You hear me, far as I think it's fucking bad. Like I said, not only 20 years ago when all these scandals were breaking out in black culture, you don't have the white people. You had these people that were teaching Nova Duality, people that were teaching boards, governments, and self-government, patriot movement, and all of these things going on. All this shit going on. You got these men that go to court. You got these feds on their head. Court is outside of my jurisdiction because I'm the nigga with the status. Keep in mind, right, the whole DEI shit, this is where it came from. Black people, right? I'll tell you right now, they had doing this shit. So a lot of these dope boys had smart homeboys that they used to kick with. And they wanted to know, man, I know it's got to be a way just because a white boy, a faggot, white some shit on a piece of paper, I'm supposed to believe it. Niggas like, no way. So this closing plot called court and court recording and documentation. A lot of the black people, they knew how to make money. Like even they said about Frank Lucas, he can read and write. I mean, he can make money. He can make $1 million a day if he couldn't read and write. So we studied W.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson, Dr. Allen Ben Sodom, the Trump anti-DR, Dr. Bill Yost, Dr. John Henry Clark, great debaters, and so on and so forth. And what we found out was, right, you hear me, just like Bumpy Johnson found out in the prohibition, that alcohol and tobacco is illegal. That's like weed and cocaine was illegal. And prostitution. Lucky Luciano found out that Bumpy Johnson legally could sell that shit, you hear me, because of agriculture and commerce that they call climate change biodiversity, engineering, relativity, real eugenics, not eugenics, it's only one man, like Playboy mansion business model, what they call a non-business model, 2005, economic Dowry, but the text that is military federal. Well, you have to be Aboriginal. All black people are not Aboriginal, that's a blood type. Old pause, that's how they were on. Like they get Jeremiah's book, I think it's a lot of work in the beginning. They would call it Internet 1871, 1872. My Coach Johnson led me over Miguel Hernandez, Freemason, and the One Sorry, really good. David Malone, Security Council, 2005. Queen 14, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Brown. You'll see all these Johnson, Murray, Gray, all through the books is royal families. White people trying to figure out how to fuck their way in the family. But the seed is not the soil. So a lot of these mammies, or what he call these scallywags, and these carpet bagging yoga bitches, right? And these poor white trash motherfuckers, or whatever homosexual black person they can get when they be dumb enough to drive, you hear me? So they was all joined together. Just like they do today. Like they the ones really into dispensaries, they the ones creating Moors move. The Moors sorry to movement is in fact what they call the DL program. Let us see that. But it was a thing called status correction. But that status correction, what Brother Belay, Dr. Ali Muhammad will tell you, it's like making a claim to being the fucking king of fucking England. That's the truth about it. That's what it means. That status correction is a sword and stone story. Remember, King Tut is obviously younger than Agamemnon or Amenhotep IV in the 1819 dynasty and the 20th dynasty of Han conspiracy. So how can a younger man, outside of the book of the Bible, Judges 17, take power from an older man? Because he would have to prove in life he was already the Pharaoh. You hear me? Just had reincarnated again and he just hold it down to the showed up. This is the real King Kill story. This is Joseph in the Bible. It says he died as a teenager, but he lived. I live this story. His family members, the Israelites, are human traffickers. That's what Israelites do. They're human traffickers. It was really said about they are traffickers in the land. The gypsies don't want them around because they're really traffickers. Only the one brother. Yeah, Joseph is, you understand, the bull and the 7 cows story. Yeah, like I said, I have been in rich baby days, straight been in shit. I have been in rich mom, poor mom. And I got it from an Asian dude who wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad called Robert T. Kiyosaki. The reality of all this teachers I have with the teachers, so it really just be able to do that. They told the whole damn they started to want to do kingdom type shit here, where they only run Dracula, Vampire, Frankenstein shit here, and all of these like Bruce Almighty, Dumbo, fairy tales. Like I said, the DEI program just some people that are born according to business, so you don't have jurisdiction over me. I got the rules, I got the power, I'm the king, I'm the person with the most status. That WA tax bill, like they say in London, you basically saying, I'm a brother, I'm an abolitionist. It's my right, I'm doing this right, that's your right, of the king of an anthill, or the king of a beehive, the single person out there, they produce naturally or butterfly, so it's supposed to evolve from California. Why not? That's good. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Here's the problem. White people didn't think of it. Black people tried to figure it out. They didn't figure it out. Dope boy tried to pay smart people to figure it out. They couldn't figure it out. I fucked around with in court one day and said shit. They said this shit here, and all of a sudden, those 3 strikes rules became tax exempt programs in California. Thank me later, South Central years. I say, that didn't exist till I showed up. Like I said, your God is just like young Jesus. He made it. He is a voice for the people. I was on the Maceo song back in the day. Black people was on Trent Rapper's Navy out of Mexico. Black people could not speak on phone, on radio, nothing right here. And with people trying to misinterpret what it meant. They were intentionally doing it. Because they figured that they could just cause a lot of propaganda, and the Negroes, remember, propaganda don't mean shit. This is speculation. Nobody listens really, but invests in speculation unless they fucking don't know the financial literacy. But the thing is, right here, all they need to know is how to go to court and file paperwork and documents and evidence here that these people make all these claims that they're superior to us, are not superior to us, they're actually inferior to us. And just because we just do music or sports right here, that shows you all the superior race, that we dominate you physically in sports, and we dominate you intellectually in hip hop. Our philosophy is better than any scientist that your race of people ever presented to planet Earth. And there are multiple, or like baby Jesus type shit here, and a lot of us that don't have to. Chip was the greatest of them all, you hear me? But there's a whole bunch of them by themselves, you hear me? Just they look cool, you hear me? Real talk, they have very much the ability to obliterate Ku Klux Klan people, you hear me? With the right education strategy and technique. And I say that is knowing how to go to court and win, knowing how to motivate your people, lift your soldiers' morale with cadence, right here, and keep efficiency, and greatness here, and expectation, right here, and modern academia here, and the priestly duties of the highest importance and relevance here, and your family business model, if that makes sense. Dollars, so I know it makes sense. Dollars down the road, right? Like I said, it had nothing to do with the marijuana or the bitches. What happened, I said, let's swap these bitches, but not just music, like Gotti was saying, right here. So y'all want to do every time on some rap, they'll make it just on one ball and all of it. And I said, you know what we do? Since we're already smart and deserve to come back earth very much back then, today, leave them with the things that cause harm, conspiracy. We'll just be treated agriculture companies. Tobacco is a multi-billion-dollar company. Alcohol, multi-billion-dollar electronics. All of these mound builders and construction workers and all this stuff. Who is the first god of construction workers? Just start with that. Let's get outside of the Johnson area construction workers. The god of Memphis, Todd, is the person that is, in fact, that's part of his magic, construction workers. Because he can create his own world. But the thing is, right, the people that's listening have to create his own world. See, at that time, there were Aboriginals that were building, not Mexicans, not Asians, not Spanish, not white people. And so what a lot of people like to do is, right, though they might be the employees or the Russians would call the Bolsheviks in World War I, right, these employees want to be the boss. With no education on how to run government and make these false narratives, right, instead of what we call montage. Say, show me your sequences of success to show you how you arrived at that conclusion so everybody can know that. They don't have a sequence of success how they arrived at that conclusion. They just try to lead a witness like they say in court and create a false narrative. That's basically where the word Brer Rabbit, Looney Tune, hieroglyphic cartouches came from. Dummies. Doing dumb shit that is impossible to prove because in order to be an aboriginal, the blood type is only 4. In order to prove that you make pharaoh trees and grant, you hear me, you gotta go to some type of business commission or some type of bank or court, you hear me, and establish that, right, you hear me, or in Secretary of State, something like that, right, Attorney General, things of that nature. This is just the way government is structured all over the world. So you can't prove that you've done none of this shit, right? You hear me? And you know it's false. It's falsehood. It had nothing to do with the marijuana industry. All the people in a lot of Asian, Spanish, and white people families, if you look at the BMF court cases and the Craig Pettis court cases, were informers. That's what happened. They sent a whole bunch of like gay people and illegal immigrants around successful black people that were millionaires, and you look at their court cases, a bunch of faggots. You hear me? Faggots and illegal immigrants, dusty, dirty motherfuckers. You hear me? Pretending that they were our friends, and I'm here to say you're not. You weren't then and you ain't today. Those are Ku Klux Klan methods.
You, like I say, I didn't learn law school from no white person, though I have offers at Harvard, Pepperdine, my Harvard woman, man, even UCLA Law, you hear me? Yeah, you hear me? They lost to me in trial life. But the thing is, why would I join a person that lost to me? Your team lost. Your team got D40, your team got defunded and deported. Why would I join the losing team? No, the losing team had to come over here with Chip. That's if I want you to be on my team, but you ain't even smart. And the girls ain't even that sexy, you hear me? Because sometimes your attitude and your personality and how you carry yourself as a woman, no matter how fine you is, can make you look like a piece of shit. Because your mentality, right, you hear me, the Ku Klux Karen shit, right, you hear me? Your faggot ass brother didn't make it, so you started to commit your prostitute of Babylon, Jezebel, type shit around here. Want shit that ain't yours too. Making claims to albums and books and movies and history and heritage and classic antiquities, you hear me, knowing damn well you ain't got nothing to do with it. You ain't making nobody jealous by fucking a loser. You fuck people on OnlyFans for free subscriptions in $1. And we talking trillions of dollars, you hear me? Not in no damn fairy tale, you hear me? These big beautiful bills, that's $4 trillion. That's money that's on the streets today. And you still out here talking these Looney Tune fairy tales. You crazy. But you can read and write, you literate. Since when? My homeboys, right? I want y'all to think about something. My homegirl. You don't think, like, we been in turmoil? I done got plenty of homeboys, had murder charges, drug cases. Not scamming money from black people. That wasn't the charges we dealt with. We dealt with real pressure in the world. And we stood on it saying, man, we have a right to conduct ourselves peacefully without police paying. Like, one of my niggas had 2 murder charges because a police officer paid some suckers, you hear me, to keep coming around him invading his space, shall I say, you hear me? And he put a bullet in their brain and pissed on their grave. And won the court case, you hear me, walked out like the baby, you hear me, real talking. I was there in court with him, you hear me, we handled it. Because a lot of you niggas, like I said, you supposed to be dead, you hear me, that's the truth about it. That's how I really see it. But you ain't really my race of people, so I don't really give a fuck. Because when it's our race of people, we have a code of ethics, right? We don't really, we admonish our children, right? You hear me? But we don't kill our babies like the Ramses era in the Treaty of Kadush, you hear me? We go to Ptolemy, the more heterogeneous, like I can educate this person and make it more profitable commission bonuses for me versus if I hurt this person like the pimp say, the hoe can't go to work today, you hear me? Somebody gotta pay me because you keep trying to bribe and intimidate this bitch. Pony up. So that's the whole truth about it, right? You hear me? A lot of people gotta understand. In the Hunter Biden case, they had access to the FBI. A lot of people y'all really don't understand, man. This rank structure is so important. Even in the CIA movie, the spook who sat by the door, who Nipsey Hussle wanted to name his last album after the spook who sat by the door. Keep in mind, this man is a social worker that's fucking prostitute. And to this day, right, like I said, unless you understand the John McAfee stories, Agenda 21, Item 33, United Nations Millennium Development Goals, you won't understand what he's talking about. General theory of relativity, right? You hear me? These Fibonacci sequences, these Brown emotions. Get rid of these Brown and random shit and get to Fibonacci sequences, montages instead of these false narratives. And it's general theory of relativity, harnessing the power of the sun to create electricity by sexual activities conducted by humans on planet Earth. You hear me? That's what they're saying. But you around here fucking faggots and doing the Sodom and Gomorrah Noah shit, and they telling you, man, that shit right there had destroyed every civilization they ever thought was dumb shit like this. Greece, Rome, you hear me? Mount Pompeii, nigga, Jesus died, the archivist minister showed up, and it was Mount Pompeii, Emperor Negro when Claudius showed up. And this is very important because what they basically saying, the black merc, before it was an AD period, it was a BC period, it's the same nigga, you hear me, still in charge. with no other ethnic backgrounds with him. Truth be told, all artists gonna have fans. That don't mean we friends. Your fans don't, a fan don't equal a friend. Does it make sense? There's a lot of people like Janet Jackson. She ain't talking to them on the phone every day. You hear me hanging around them. She's enjoying the fruits of her labor, praising her Savior, whether it's through fertility rites and family worship, you hear me, whatever the case, whatever the case may be that she's into today. Well, Rhythm Nation, great album. Enjoying the fruits of our labor, right? You hear me, or learning more things to keep fruits growing, because those ain't the only fruits that we got to eat, or vegetables, or meat, or protein, like a food pyramid, dowry, poultry, right? You hear me, but you got to understand what creates a drought. See, a lot of people read that book of Joseph in the wrong fast. He basically saying, man, a drought coming if you listen to these stupid ass niggas. But if you fuck with me, you hear me, right? You hear me, you gonna live forever and keep getting money. It's the order of Melchizedek. The Levite musicians normally don't get their money while they living. They get their Grammy Awards and all that shit after they die, like Gil Scott-Heron. He had made the album 50 years ago, the day he died. The next year he was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I had the same judge in Norwalk, right? You hear me? They'll tell you, man, I won $2.4 trillion in court. You hear me? That's why they ain't never published the case. That's why these folk got these fucked up looks on their faces. Let's be honest, you hear me? I already beat you out their money. A lot of people think, oh, he just beat me out $200,000 on a big beautiful bill, you hear me, for a student loan, you hear me, or $2 million, you hear me, on a publishing report and distribution. The TuneCoin BMI type shit, right? You hear me? I be like, I been beat you out 2.4. It was the same money I should have got in 2017, right? You hear me? But we had the motherfucking Greenbridge Partnership Program and fill that gap, you hear me? For the whole talking that gap, you hear me? Yeah, bitch, baby mama. Hey, what I finna say, so you hear me, man? I ain't got no time for the drama. Because like I said, even Moneybag Yo, man, you hear me? When you listen to him in Memphis, he said, have I ever done some sucker shit like paid to not have people on the show? We don't like that, you hear me? You're trying to, what Tariq Nasheed say, dissipate the energy with your loser type shit you got going on in your life, trying to basically create false narrative like we're the one that's poor, we're the one needing money, we're the one that needs a car. I'm like, man, my car account already say unlimited. I can make whatever car, luxury car I want to pull up out. I can ride around in a circle around the whole city and country for a week just for the hell of it if I wanted to. You hear me? Just say fuck the world. You hear me? I have the ability to do this. Why? Because I already established, not just through lineage, right, you hear me, but things that I've established, systems I've put in place, like dispensaries from the drug game, you hear me, motherfucker me, OnlyFans, from pimping hoes like Hustle and Flow, you hear me, that's where the money came from. So when people question me about taxes, I be like, would you rather have an OnlyFans versus fucking a real trick, you hear me? Then you gotta fuck him and pay me the money. Now you just doing this shit in digital, I get the money. Would you rather have to keep these motherfucking weed in your socks, in your drawers somewhere, hidden in a bush somewhere, and you gotta run it all every time you see the police? It's just like the Prohibition Act and President Johnson, those laws are over. The faggot had no control over marijuana, OnlyFans, nothing. That is an agriculture, what Gerald Massey would call the General Zodiac, right, you hear me, on the Pharaoh's propertation, right, you hear me, the Pharaoh's propertate. In some type of way, just Mother Earth gets pregnant just like women do and birth seeds. But a person that doesn't produce seeds to birth has nothing to do with Mother Earth. Does this shit make sense to you crazy ass ladies out here? So Mother Earth is a woman. She has the birth of seed. A faggot cannot be the administrator or pastor or agriculturalist of a fucking planet Earth, and he don't date women his damn self. That's like a nigga going to get, why would Kobe Bryant, instead of asking Michael Jordan for advice, ask Nick Cannon? Say for instance, Kobe Bryant, basketball, he just lost the game. He wouldn't go say, hey, Nick Cannon for some advice. Nick Cannon don't play basketball. He would say, hey, Michael Jordan, or hey, Dr. J, Clyde Drexler, or somebody like that. You hear me, man? How do I, Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway be successful? Deal with people in your field. That's why in college they got different degrees. In the military they got different jobs in that motherfucker, you hear me? And there's too many people, right, you hear me, trying to cross into basically professions that you don't even have a certificate or a degree in. And a lot of you that got a certificate or a degree for, we found out it was forgery how you got it. Because they gave you an IQ test and found out you was stupid. And was out here trying to dictate capital and labor, you hear me? And assessments, you hear me? And priorities, and you a whole clown. Doing gay humor. What I call prank videos. Niggas, we do pranks, but it's called gold digging videos. The difference is we actually got the money. You ain't got shit when you do your prank. The prankster don't got no money. The gold digging video, nigga, we actually got, we could be lying. We'll holler out, bitch, man, baby, I'm doing so bad, man, baby, you hear I suck your bath water, you hear me, bitch, you hear me, man, you give me your neck check, food check, man, help me get, become a priest of own, like Joseph said, you hear me, get that rich with the gold chains and the cherry. You know how to do that, you know how to make hoes. But then at the same time, on another note, you're not going to the bank to make some money out of yourself, right? Live like Richard Gere on Pretty Woman. Yeah, you hear me? That's a better business model because hoes can get treated, they can be manipulated by demons. Like the book of Tobit in the Bible, right? You hear me? Woman possessed by 7 demons. Every man that she ever dated was a demon until a real angel showed her. That's why she had that bitter sourness in her heart. A lot of these songs y'all hearing in the background, you hear me? I'm set to put them on some albums when I do the 3 movies, Our Children's Ministry, Leprechaun Lawyer, and Quest for a Silver Fleece, WB The Boy. And soundtrack with 9 music. It'll already be a 2 sites, Pharaoh Tree in stores, or Algorithm Dinosaur Artist Signs, what we call guitar. And the 9 Music album, you hear me, still coming on the way. I think I called it, I was gonna call it Ebony and Ivory, the album, but I had changed the name of it to the Quest for a Silver Fleece. That'll be the album, and the 9 Music. So we still gonna work on it and get that on that way. There's only 9 people I got to hire. It's almost like 9 billion people on planet Earth. It's not really difficult, right here, to hire somebody to do their job. Really. A lot of times what happens is y'all be trying to influence the people or bribe or intimidate people that want to come into the labor force and work for me, because you start giving them these false narratives on how they need to contract with me. And I'm like, no, that's not how contracting operates. I do contracting the way they do in economics of dowry and bride price and joint ventures, right? You're doing these corporations with these many heads with no answers. Siamese twin, prostitute of Babylon, dragon Babylon, you know what I'm saying? You hear me? Meanwhile, you hear me, I'm established, you hear me? I know what I got going on. I'm very cognitive of what I got going on in life. At WB Du Bois said at the end of the Reconstruction book. Military, veteran, tax status from the Johnson Mary Gray family, Freedmen Bureau, what they call the GN, FBI today, you heard me, but they know their original function in Hamilton Maritime Law override whatever they're talking about, and they have to work. The spirit of movement. Remember the John Gotti stories come from John Maccabees in the Bible, so you get the difference. You call Hanukkah around Christmas. This is McCabe John's story, what Jeremiah would say the Johnson Mary Gray family and past 20 WB Du Bois would say the same thing. This is in fact the foundation of the NAACP and civil people, what they call the 13th, 14th Amendment today, where we have the right to vote politically, we have the right to have protection of government from Ku Klux Klan enforcement plans, you know what I'm saying? You hear me? So we have right to do all these things. That's why we don't like, as WB Du Bois say, all of this gerrymandering that goes on, including yourself in a culture, you hear me, that is toxic to you and is toxic to us by you being around us. So just be separate from us, like the white woman had to get away from Hancock, you hear me? Does this make sense to you? You know, like I have friends that we don't do business together, but we can drink a bottle of liquor every day together. Does this make sense? Because some people, even brothers in the same family, y'all got cousins, right? You hear me? You got auntie, mama. Where you work at ain't where your auntie and your uncle work at. or your sister, dad, or brother, let alone some people that ain't even related to you or you even grew up with in high school. You're not being realistic. Wealth is not distributed that way. Wealth always does never go to your family and friends. They always go to your significant other, your wife and your kids. This is individual wealth I created. I didn't make this money from my family church or the St. Jude board of directors they work on to write these research and grants and loans. You hear me? No, this money came from a lane I created in 2013. Right here, when these Craig Pettis cases are over, these BMF trials have been wrapped up, right here, and I started Fly America, Aboriginal Civil Society, WABN, tax forms, these sword and song stories, these Aboriginals, these pharaohs of the 6th dynasty, pimping the Egyptians, pimping Memphis, God of Memphis, right here, making easy money for the hoes in style. Wasn't caught in the hard conspiracy. It's time to Abraham and Sarah say, hey, either the girl date me or she gonna date you. If she date you, you hear me, she gonna always be a slave. She date with me, she'll be a boss. And Abraham was going 400 years of slavery. His family would go on to become human traffickers. The Israelites are still the younger brother. You hear me, will still succeed in the beginning of Genesis, just like he did in the end. You hear me, right? History repeats itself, like I said, of children's ministry. Uncle Rudolph, Uncle Claudia, Will 14, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Madison say the same things, right? You hear me? So, moral of the story. What is the moral of the story? The code of ethics in these things. Be true to your divine nature and destiny. Nature already know it got to reproduce to survive. A caterpillar doesn't read a book to evolve. The anthill ain't got no book. The beehive ain't got no book to create no goddamn nothing. They just know what to do. They know what, so is the insect smarter than you? Young grasshopper Pinocchios and girl Pinocchios out here. But they gonna have you working for free in Hollywood for no money, pretend to be your friend. Have y'all ever really watched that movie Pinocchio, you hear me? They gonna think that we're their friends, you hear me? The whole time we're gonna be stealing all of their money. Watch the movie Pinocchio in the 1940s. What they was really saying. How Jimmy Cricket, they would send them little boys to Pleasure Island where they came as boys but didn't leave as boys. And the great Kazoo, just like in Flintstone, showed up, said, man, ain't no way in the hell you finna send all these kids to get their dick chopped off, you hear me, and get adopted by some Frankenstein monsters and shit. And the reason why I keep saying this Frankenstein shit is this too. I would be Dr. Frankenstein in this situation because I created the DEI bullshit, you hear me, came from the Moorish American government. The sovereignty idea of the patriot shit. And they're going to court. You ain't got jurisdiction. Status determines jurisdiction. When they were saying all that shit, I'm a descendant of the Pharaohs and the Moors and all that shit. Yeah, the Murray family, the Grays, and come to find out, I said, damn, that's true. But that's how the British family, you heard me, had it exempt. The British family called it human trafficking charge. You heard me? Even one of them was a general. He couldn't be in the military no more. They just made shit disappear. Because that was a tax exempt. It's not the fact, because you can't actually charge the person that's charging you when the assets and liabilities outweigh one another. Because the debts, just like in the Bible, debts and sins, you know, paperwork and money sometimes discharge debts the same way they used to give a bull for a bull that was injured, or two bulls, or for the cows, or for the evil resources. If this happened, right, the economics had already been laid out on how to keep a social environment for us to not so much have intercourse or commerce with each other, but basically to integrate amongst each other and move amongst each other like birds. You know, you see bird flying, bird ain't bumping into other birds. Why could the bird fly? Because the bird got kicked out the nest by his mama by itself. You hear me? So the mama said, nigga, get out the nest and fly. Right, you hear me? Man, truth be told, you hear me? I fly 1,000 miles in any direction, you hear me? Do what I want to do. My nigga used to say that about me in the hood, you hear me? He said, Chip, you the only nigga I know that made money every ghetto, you hear me, man, that you have ever been to, nigga. The world is a ghetto, nigga, as far as you concerned.
I can make money anybody neighborhood on planet Earth. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Nigga, the pandemic was a drought. Nigga, this shit was so dry. It looked like one of them movies. Nigga, 5-0 go with a barn of wheat just come rolling down the Wild Wild West movies and shit. And only the niggas say, I'm getting rich off of EDD, the Memphis nigga. We the only people had some money. Y'all ain't never. Y'all will never be able to survive a drought because y'all ain't creative. And a lot of y'all niggas, y'all want to get them Memphis niggas for that shit too. That all that pandemic money. Billions of dollars. Memphis nigga, they say, man, them Memphis niggas cold, you hear me? I said, well, this Fly America Algorithm Civil Society, I had them motherfuckers in 2013 legally. Yeah. It's a non-governmental organization. Yeah, fake NGO. I'm the nigga put you on the plane. It's my civil side, my national government, non-governmental organization outside of when I retired from the military as a veteran to separate myself from them too. They crazy too. Sucker free like the pimp free. No overdose, coast to coast, man. But it's a cross-country player. Yeah, man, I was just thinking about this shit, man. You heard me? 21,000 real estate properties. You started talking about your first house, you hear me? Your first apartment, you hear me? My nigga, I've been getting houses, jumping out of cars and all type of shit, you hear me? All type of money out of left stand. Man, me and Kevin got on that. Hey, man, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit, you hear me? Man, me living and keeping it pimping was most important to pimping. That was important. Fuck what they talking about, man. You get another car, you get another house. You hear it right here. You know, all your fingers and toes, man. You always get your hoes and your bankroll, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's always been about. It's what always gonna be about. I'm a successful thug. Mike Yo said he an unsuccessful thug. I'm a successful thug. Man, ain't nobody did what I did since Bumpy Johnson and Prohibition ever eating alcohol and tobacco was prohibited. I legalized my marijuana and drugs in California. That's the truth about it. Quiet as kept. But only the marijuana, because the drugs got these tweakers and geekers out here scientifically, man, it ain't productive. You hear me? Feed me. It don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Nigga, prostitution, nigga charging out the frame. It's only fan that nigga. I'm a successful gangster. Fuck you talking about. And I ain't gotta say nothing to these hoes, cause I'm pimping for real. You hear me? Nothing to these people working these dispensaries. I'm get my money. Just like Big Worm got it from smoking. Nigga, you hear me? You gonna smoke, then you gonna pay me. You hear me? I'm talking about none of that crazy ass shit you talking about. Know how I'm living, you hear me? Order me a chest of that type shit, you hear me? Hey man, let me know what you got. Hey, know what's up, you hear me? Type shit, you hear me? The Bible. It's better than to turn the other cheek, Jesus, you hear me? There's a time for that too, you hear me? But then it's a time for the order me a chest of that, man, you hear me? A war of the worlds, or what they call the meeting of the minds of the greatest intellectuals, you hear me, on planet Earth. They say, what is the greatest philosophy we can have for the population of 8 billion people? And truth be told, all the shit has actually been documented and scheduled for the mission statement and vision statement what we doing. What happened, you just found out at the end it'll be a federal algorithm that will have to be moved. It's what have to be made. It's like real to your ass now, you hear me? When you look at me. Like the Book of Eli type shit, nigga looking like that. It's not the fact you can't read it, your heart evil. And when your heart evil, you can't see it. That's why even in the Zohar, when they teach the Kabbalah about all those gotta calm down, so like, we fucked up about you figuring this shit out. It'll just make you a better person knowing that was the truth. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like, shit, I thought I was helping people do research for grants and loans and billions and millions. I'm to find out it had everything to do with anthropology studies, archaeology, and its economics Dowry and Brad Price had something to do with what I had going on. So I said, oh, okay, you hear me. I'm supposed to assume by natural roles in history. A lot of people that play with tarot cards and numerology, they try to do that crazy ass shit. So I'm just doing, say for instance, I'm like, shit, my birthday 7/11, what would be my divine destiny, Miss Tarot cards? And keep in mind, when I say Dendera Zodiac, those zodiacs in Egyptology are not Greco-Roman homosexual zodiacs. That's not it. Like Cancer would be Capricorn.
the Gemini twins would be shooting Teflon, like all of these things of this nature, right? You hear me? And the blessings and the promises, right? You hear me? Be a little different. Like Joseph, he had the blessings of all the bows in the mountain. That means like the goods, resources, products, services in the bosoms and breast of the women, right? You hear me? Because that has to do with agriculture and commerce. Just like Mother Earth get pregnant, women get pregnant, you hear me? That science is directly connected to planet Earth, what Einstein called general theory of relativity. That's why 500 years ago people said, well, aboriginals are, the streets are made of gold. These Beverly Hills, Billy Country motherfuckers, you hear me? Get the money. Because that science itself, just like Joseph in the Mormon text told him, you hear me? Still carried on. Because like people call Cairo today Egypt, but it was called Memphis because King Tut moved it to the United States. He never died. That's the story. My children's ministry to move it on the way. Quest for a silver fleece, but with the happy alternate ending. And Leprechaun's glory, you heard me? Pharaoh tree in this store, not laying a milk and honey on Amazon, $200. Pharaoh tree in that store right there. Keep shopping with me, man. You hear me? It's easy to write up your motion to dismiss or whatever you ever say about me and keep that shit out of court because it's hard for me. I can write a writ of mandate, make the military take over all your little police stations, you hear me, right? And shut all your little schools and companies down, you hear me? That's likely to me, you hear me? I'm intelligent enough to write a motion to apply shit abolish, even though it happened Russian snipe U.S. Mars. I already smashed niggas, you hear me? That's my history, you hear me? But I go on with this luxurious living, right? And film and fashion, right? You hear me? Like Luciano and Bobby Johnson did, right? You hear me? Where we are the masters of our faith, right? And our destiny, right? The guide, you are my starship. Take me on, baby girl. She's a bad man, the jump, Lord, keep her. One shit to break my name, hallway, sit, stick. I put the food up, I play my hand, I say, fuck the haters, love you, shout out to you, you hear me? St. Kosher, man, if you got it wrong, you can still get it right, G. I see you, man. I'm foolish, you know, I got love for you, nigga, you hear me, man? You know what you can give you, man, you hear me? I ain't even fucked up that. That shit crazy, anyway, you hear me? But look how it all worked out. God bless you, nigga, you hear me? So it's good, you hear me? Fuck it, you hear me? Real talk, man. How you make your nigga chill out, y'all will chill out, everybody chill out. Let's get some money, get some business. They go to the studio, rock out, man, get some money, man. What this shit like, really, my wife ain't gonna never help her know it. Though I bump her trying to tell the lady and the folks in the movie, you hear me? Look, Lord, she there, but he ain't gonna help her know it. You know, we had just can't split that. The dynasty can tell you everything. We fight